The DualShock 4 controller is something I think PlayStation 4 owners take for granted a few years after the PS4's release. It notifies us that we're being chased by police in Grand Theft Auto, it speaks to us in a myriad of other games using the embedded speaker, and it lights the way in games like Until Dawn and Tomb Raider. But my favorite use of all comes in the form of an amazing little minigame that I don't think is talked about quite enough. So I'm from New York City, and one thing that's integral to New York City is graffiti. Whether you're creating it or consuming it, it's part of the city's lifeblood. It's an art that gives a voice to all different kinds of people from across the city. Personally, I love graffiti, and of course, I love video games, and they have something quite interesting in common. This is a can of spray paint. From toys to graffiti legends, they all use this tool. And of course, this is a controller. From pros to the most casual of players, they all use this tool. In infamous Second Son, brought to us by Sucker Punch Studios, you play Delson, a graffiti artist and local delinquent. When you aren't acquiring new powers and beating the crap out of DUP agents, you're tagging up a beautiful recreation of Seattle. As a launch title, Second Son was used to demonstrate the improved DualShock 4 controller's capabilities. And in this minigame, by holding the controller sideways and shaking it like a spray paint can, players could hear the mixing ball rattling through the built-in speakers of the DualShock controller, as well as use 6-axis control to paint over the stencil. The gameplay isn't too intricate. There are no penalties for overspray or any other sort of mechanics. Simply shake the can and fill in each part of the stencil until the layers create a Banksy-esque image. While many of the other examples I mentioned earlier attempt to immerse the player by bringing sights and sounds out of the game and into the living room, this minigame turned your controller into an object within the game world and brought the player into the game instead. While I'm not a fan of tech gimmicks, this minigame felt incredibly intuitive. It turned a simple side mission into a compelling and fun experience. I actually put the main story on hold and sought out all the minigame locations instead. Hearing those sounds and interacting with the game in such a novel way was incredibly fun, especially as someone who's handled their fair share of spray paint cans. For perfectly legal reasons. There's just something so inexplicably satisfying about this minigame that you simply have to try it yourself. Infamous Second Son is currently a PlayStation Plus free game of the month, and I definitely recommend that you add it to your library and check it out. Aside from this brilliant minigame, it's a fun and beautiful title to play, and definitely something you don't want to miss out on. But I have to admit, this minigame made me want to see this approach implemented in other consoles like the Nintendo Switch, a console which made huge claims about its Joy-Cons. Or, imagine something like this implemented in a new Jet Set Radio! The possibilities seem endless. What are some of the coolest ways you've seen the DualShock 4 controller used in a game? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, guys.